That's a great shot. Out. Go. Come on. No, you're good. Let's go. Go.
All right, what's up, guys? In today's video, you're going to be watching our US Open bronze medal match. In this video, I'm playing with Isaac. We don't normally play together, but since I got in for men's and he got in for mixed, and we were both already going, we figured we might as well just play together, but usually Isaac can line up better partners than me. This was actually an age division and not a skill division, so it was any age 12 to 24, and then whatever skill level you are, you could play it. It just had to be within that age range. If you made it to one of the medal matches, it basically came out to be a 5-0 bracket, but there were definitely earlier rounds where people may not have necessarily been a 5-0. Now, if you've already watched a few of the clips, you will notice that the guy in the brown shirt is playing with one of those bird paddles or ergo or PBZ, whatever you want to call them. There's many different versions. He's actually playing with a completely different model than any of the ones I just mentioned, but basically you hold this paddle like a saw, and he is the only guy I have ever seen play with one of these paddles. I've seen him at other tournaments before, and he's sick with this thing. He's a hilarious player, very nice guy. I've never played against one of these before. I have tried to use one, and they're very difficult to use, so the fact that he plays so well with it is crazy. You will notice that anything at his chest to his backhand is incredibly good, and throughout the video you may notice that the forehand is a little weaker, but dude, if you hit it at his backhand, it is not the spot to go. So anyways, enjoy the video. Oh, also make sure you stay tuned to the end of the match, because I had a pro actually help break down this match and give me some suggestions of things I could have done well. It's Ryan Dawidjan, who is the GM of the Texas Ranchers, and I think there's some really good insights that you guys will appreciate.
Oh, so close. All good, all good.
Point. 3-1-1.
Woo! Take it off. Oh, I couldn't see it. No.
1-5-1.
No.
Okay. 1-5-2.
Tough.
5-1-1.
You'll notice in this point just how good the guy's hands are with the PBZ. His hands are very good. Nothing really gets by him. And then, of course, the mod ends up finishing the point here, which, you know, makes sense. It's a mod.
Yeah.
Guys, help me sing along. I'm up here in the corner with the blue.
So I did have to pause the audio of the playing here because Center Court was playing some music, and I will get demonetized if I let that play through this section of the video. So there's not going to be any audio for this part. So one thing I'll mention really quick is if you click the link in the description, I have this match put into PB Vision, which is an AI software that can analyze your matches and show you things that you could have done better and give stats about each player. So I put this match through it, and it was actually really interesting to see what it came out with. Because one of the things we realized after we played this match is that we should have gone to the player with the mod more often than we did, because we felt like he was less consistent after the match, and PB Vision also backed this up and showed that he was a little bit less consistent than everyone else. But I think because he had a mod and his counters were pretty good, we were more tentative about going to him, especially since I was in front of him. But anyways, check it out in the description. There's a lot of really cool insights about this match. In this point, you'll notice that I do go to the guy's left hip with the PBZ style paddle, and this is the best spot to try and hit someone here because it's just a weaker spot with that paddle. Now, here's something I didn't catch in real time, but at the end of this point, I actually call this ball out and Isaac calls it in, or at least he's applauding like, hey, nice shot. So technically, they actually should have got this point. We ended up getting it because of my out call, but since we disagreed, technically that would be their point. So I'm surprised no one on the court noticed that.
No. Let's go. Come on. Nice. Good ball. That's so easy. Nice.
Time in. 8-5-1.
Nice. Out. No.
And his partner, Karen Cassett Coach.
Unlucky.
This point right here is a prime example of what happens if you go to the backhand of one of these paddles. The ball gets destroyed.
That's a great counter. No.
Oh, yeah.
You. Nice. Oh. Nice. Let's go. Oh, get him first.
Nice.
38. Second call, C. Chavez. Ivy Lee for 38. Second call.
You. Yeah.
11-7-2.
You. Yeah.
7-11-1.
Watch.
15 seconds.
Come on.
8-11. Win by 2. If we go to the third game, we'll change ends at 6. On my right, I have my servers, Shelby Bay. I have my receiver, Karen Coaches, and William Sobek. Game 1.
My bad. My bad.
11-8-1. Time in. 12-8-1.
Andrea Olson, Thomas 2. Urinating for 46. Second call.
No.
Olson, Thomas.
0-2-1.
Nice. 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 Come on.
8-12-1. Second serve.
Good ball. All good.
56.
1-2-2.
Jamie Encinas, urinating on court 56. Second call.
13-8-1. Serve. 13-8-2. Point.
Come on.
Around here, we decided to try reverse stacking because I just really wasn't feeling comfortable on the right with my forehand dink, and then get in a nice little exchange here. Should have had an easy put away ball and straight into the net. That was not good for the confidence there.
4-1-2. Point.
You.
5-1-2.
Oh. Drop.
1-5-1.
There we go. Come on. One more.
13-8-2.
There we go. Come on.
Let's go. 13-1.
It was about this point in the match where we realized a couple things. One, we should probably be speeding up to Justin's forehand since that's the weaker area with that paddle. And then second, we should be returning more to the guy with the mod because Justin had really consistent drops. I really don't know if he missed any drops this entire match. And then the guy with the mod had been a little bit more inconsistent. I think it was one of those things where you see a mod and you're like, oh, they're just going to rip the ball. They're probably going to crash, and you just don't want to hit to it as much, but I think he was a little less consistent, and that's something we should have tried a little bit earlier in the match rather than returning everything to Justin, who was just a brick wall and got everything back very consistently.
Yeah. Ooh.
This one was unfortunate because the ball was so close to being in. I think it is just barely out if you look at the replay here, but that was just not good timing in the match.
Nice. Here we go. One more. One more. Come on. Come on. Keep returning.
Andrea Olson, Thomas 2, leading on court 56. This is your third and final call. Andrea Olson, Thomas 2, to court 56, third and final call.
7-4-2.
Okay. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game. Good game. You'll get there one way or the other.
Listen up, Olson. Chris Olson's getting to 5-0 this year. I told him that a month ago when I saw him here in Austin. And now I'm even more convinced of it after seeing this bronze medal match. Okay, the forehand dink needs help, but it's not just one dink, because as with anything in pickleball, there's a lot more nuance to it. The forehand dink for him on the roll was quite good. So when Chris is kind of feeling comfortable, moving his feet to get to the outside of the ball, he's quite good in getting some shape on this. It doesn't have to be super aggressive zip, but there's shape and it's bouncing, and I feel like he could hit 2 or 3 spots consistently across court. Where he gets into trouble is when he tries to do that on a ball that should just be a make ball. Make the shot. Be conservative, continue the point. You can't be aggressive here because for some reason or another, you're under pressure. Either the ball's out to your side or it's down at your feet from off the kitchen. Here, this is where Chris is trying to do this, leading to the pop-ups. He's trying to kind of lean back, roll a ball that is ultimately a half volley, or if you let it kind of bounce and sit, it's more of a shovel dink, right? That classic, like, hey, I don't need topspin, I don't need shape, I need to get this ball back into the court, preferably straight to middle, soft, so that I can get up and my partner can get up and we resume the point and play out from there. Because when you're under duress, it could be in transition or it could be at the kitchen, but trying to do that with hard rolls, with people leaning in, you're not gonna have enough time to manipulate the ball and kind of, hit that stroke and buy yourself time. The other important thing to realize, like, even if you did that, you have 2 static, 5'8", 5'10", 6-foot individuals with poppy paddles standing there. You're not beating them to any spot. So even if you did manage to get this roll drop down or this roll dink, you're not really gaining anything. But if we can kind of shovel and consistently kind of push that ball to back into the kitchen, or at least making them take it from out of the air and low, then we've continued into the next chapter of the point. Otherwise, we're short-circuiting this, trying to step back. I'd say one other thing here with Chris's footwork is it's a little bit too delayed. It's kind of like a shuffle back, versus he does a good job on the left side of using that drop step to buy some time and to clear his body. But on the backhand, it's a little bit like this, popping up, versus you want to kind of lean into that right leg, Chris, and boom, kind of reset to middle. On a related note, and the reason why we saw a few errors here, and we're gonna definitely link them because they're good editors. And we also didn't see a few good errors, but this is gonna be an error at 5-0 when the ball gets a little bit shapier and movier. When he's pushed out to the right-hand side, he's going, in my opinion, he's going way too aggressive back cross court. So if you're in motion, if you're pushed to the sideline or even back here towards the middle, we have to be more conservative in the ball and the angle we're trying to execute on. So if I'm here, my whole goal is back to middle. I don't want to go line necessarily for the Ernie and the height of the net. I want to go back to middle. But you'll see here, Chris does go cross court and he does bounce it a few times, but kind of on the numbers and the percentages, anytime we're out here in motion behind us, there's a little bit of chaos, let's make the shot easier to hit. Let's hit to this conservative middle reset area. So one thing I noticed a little bit on the reach-in volleys, props to Chris for taking more balls out of the air. Sometimes they were just simple kind of volleys taking balls away. And then there were a few attacks. I'd say on the attacking side, too many balls middle cross court. Like that's not gonna be there at 5-0, 5-3, 5-5. And especially you were playing Mr. Birdman who's a lefty, like even a worse spot. So Chris, you're gonna have to like either learn to do a little bit of the backhand roll punch if you want, or leaning in here and getting a ball that either can go inside out a little bit down the line, not risking sideline, or straight into your opponent to be able to follow up and create that combo. But too many kind of pretty noticeable, like is coming, telegraphed forehand kind of push volleys that go right into a lefty that should be crunching that. Or if you're playing dubs, a guy's going to sit there and go bam. So again, cross-court attacks do have their place, but if they're telegraphed and relatively slow, without much kind of pace or deception, they're going to get eaten up at 5-0, and that's going to be something that limits you right now. One other thing on the volleys, and I'm not sure, maybe it could be paddle specific, it could just be conditions, but I felt like in this game, Chris was like kind of just tapping or letting the ball hit his paddle. Maybe the carbon's a little bit poppy, but I would like to see a little bit more intention with a simple arm-based stroke to kind of move that ball and redirect that ball, as opposed to just having that ball kind of reactively hit your paddle and hopefully the pace carries it over the net. It doesn't have to be that you're adding power, it's just that you're being intentional and specific of where you're bringing that ball to create a little bit of pressure to keep people on their toes and to not play into the same pattern every single time. This is a little like 5-0 plus tip, but you'll see if we get some of the slow motions, there's a big emphasis on Chris's stroke of like kind of being straight on from behind the ball and then lifting, and you'll see the roll dink or the roll reset. It's almost like his paddle's like opens up, and there's like this big emphasis on opening up, and I'd rather see, whether it's a transition drop or a dink, I'd rather see a more closed face hitting on outside of the ball. So the key thing here is this would be straight on, this would be the outside. Now that doesn't mean we manipulate the wrist in a windshield wiper mode, it just means we approach the ball from the side. That will get us more topspin, and that will get us an easier ability to redirect cross, which is typically what you want to do in this dingy pattern. So instead of this, we want to kind of be more forward with that ball. We don't need to lift up on it because an open paddle face gives us that appropriate loft. So as we lift here, you see how much shape that has on a simple roll dink? It's because I'm getting from under and to the side of the ball, and I'm still able to hit it straight, middle dink left foot, or roll across. This will also be quite helpful on the drop. So instead of this straight on kind of emphasis on coming up, we want to kind of go through with that cornhole beanbag toss, but on the side of the ball. That's a video coming on the lab channel soon, but side of the ball will give you a lot more control and a lot more spin, almost on the same stroke. It's just closing down that grip so that you can hit that roll dink as such. And I would say, going back really quick to Chris's roll dink, the best thing I like about it is he wasn't trying to go for too much pace, and he always got to the side of the ball with his feet. It wasn't here as he was trying to hit the roll dink. He would lateral mini step or lean in to kind of get to that outside of the ball to keep across. Let's step back into transition real quick. This is tied in to Chris's dink mechanics a little bit, and that's, again, this is a small sample size of 16 minutes, but I saw probably 5 or 6 volley resets where there's such an emphasis on coming up, right? If this ball is coming down at us on a line or kind of a loopier speed up, we want to redirect this ball out, right? The ball's coming in here, we're going to redirect it out, and we want to show this paddle face to our opponent into the net as long as possible, so as that ball comes in contact with it, it's a super simple stroke. So here, if we're doing like the Anna-Bright cover, we can just place it here if someone's ripping at us and we're gonna have some pace. But if we need to move this 14, 16 feet, I'd much rather have Chris's stroke be kind of compact and out as opposed to lifty up. We're not doing anything but trying to make the ball. We're trying to make them hit another shot, hopefully here, 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 here. We need it up and over the net, but we don't need to apply any topspin. This is like a rudimentary, conservative, get the point going, make balls, and kind of bump that back. The same thing applies, in which I think he did a much better job here on some of the half volleys down at his feet. He didn't try to roll or lift up or redirect. It was much more kind of wide, strong base, redirect this ball using some of the pace you're getting back to your opponent. Very simple and very pragmatic. I'd like to see him kind of cover that on the roll side. All right, sorry, on the volley side. And I think the last closing note is, I think the cute metaphor that we use on a lot of this, when we talk about ball manipulation and touch and feel and kind of shaping the ball, it really comes down to having like a little bit of a lighter grip. I'm not sure where Chris registers on that subjective 0 to 10 scale, but lighter is almost always better for people. And the emphasis, and you've heard about this in the reviews, of dwell time, or feeling the ball on your paddle for slightly longer. It's ever so slight, but feeling this ball on your paddle. So the metaphor we use is like, I could hit a dink like I'm pecking it, like, or I'm smooching it. There's a distinct difference, a little bit in the sound, but also more importantly, just in your feel for what that feels like. So as we're trying to roll or shape or lift or push, we don't want to be, this is going to be excessive, but we don't want to be tappy. We don't want to be tappy or pecky. We want to smooch, even if it's an 8-foot shot or if it's a 32-foot shot. Like, we want to feel this ball on our paddle, and that in turn gives us a little bit of a better connection for like how we're approaching this ball, whether it's from behind, from the side, from below, how much we need to kind of strike this in its different ways. So when it comes to those volley dinks, or the rolls, or just his normal dink, I'd like to see a little bit more smooching of the ball, as opposed to pecking or just using this as a trampoline. So anyways, some subjective thoughts, but Chris Olsen, 5.0, 2025. Let's go.